Harsh realities is what's on the front page of Kenya's bold newspaper, The Standard. Treasury's 4.82 trillion shilling budget promises growth, stability and shared prosperity, while acknowledging there are challenges that will make the going rough. But for many Kenyans, it offers little escape from the crushing realities of daily life. As fuel prices rise, inflation bites, and household incomes shrink, traders, farmers, border riders and small businesses fear tougher days ahead. For millions of families, the success of CS John Badi's budget will not be measured in projections of parliamentary applause, but in whether life becomes more affordable. Of course, the budget coverage goes from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 10. So where we're getting a thumbs up in this 4.8 trillion shilling budget is that 424.25 billion shillings is a significant increase to fund, among others, the recruitment of additional teachers. Whether these teachers will be recruited as PNP, we don't know, but that's what it's looking to. More teachers, because there is a teacher shortage in the country, as there are many other things. So 424 billion shillings goes towards that. 1.14 billion shillings is the allocation to the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. That almost doubled from 628 million shillings in the current financial year. You can ask questions as to why, but, just so we know. These are the folks who got a thumbs up.
It functioned in 2025 with 628 million. Why increase it to 1.4 billion?
Yeah, so
that's almost double.
It is double, almost double, just under double.
Yeah.
So the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary gets an allocation of 1.14 billion shillings.
I have a question.
Yes.
The man has 2 offices.
Yeah.
So do we have another separate budget
for
MOFA?
Ministry? Absolutely.
So that means you operate with 2 budgets?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. 24.97 billion shillings has been increased from 13 billion in the current year as the Commission prepares for the 2027 general election. This is under the IEBC. So IEBC will get some money, obviously, because they're going into an election year. 0% is the dialysis machines. They've been exempted from value-added tax to lower the cost of care for patients. So this is the thing, that machines like this are needed. If the universal health coverage is actually focusing on preventative as opposed to curative care, damage, dialysis, of course now dialysis machines are treatment, and the number of people who are under dialysis in the country rising. So if you have a low-cost machine, because usually you're charged for the machine. That's what you're charged for. If you have a low-cost machine, then you can reduce the end-user cost. So now that's one of the things whereby they say value-added tax has you are exempted from that on these dialysis machines. All right?
Would that be, does that then come together with policy when it comes to estimates on how much patients should pay in hospitals, or is it at the discretion of the hospitals?
Well, there's set, from what we understand from the Ministry of Health, is that in public hospitals, like dialysis, I don't know, it's a set amount. And even when insurance payouts come, it should not be more than a certain amount. It was 9,000 bob a pop, but that has reduced. So we see that if now we're looking at the removal of VAT on these machines, then that amount that you pay across board for dialysis should reduce significantly.
Well,
Up and do too good. Where it doesn't look too good in terms of the numbers that got a downward thumb sign, losers. State House, 13.44 billion shilling drop from the 17 billion as per the supplementary estimates for 2025-2026. So it looks like State House will get 13.4 billion shillings as opposed to 17.25 billion.
But that is still an increase, no?
It is.
Okay.
But the language is sweet, is it not?
Yeah. Because it's just playing with the numbers.
It's still an increase.
At the end of the day, we've been talking about 17 billion. Now it's a decrease at 13, but you're not being told that it's increased from around 8 billion?
Yes. So you still get a 5 billion shilling increase.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking at. Roads, 228.57 billion shillings is a drop from 254 allocated in the current financial year. So a reduction of about 26 billion shillings in the road sector. Food importers, they have to pay a 35% import duty on selected processed food products to protect local industries. On this one, I actually agree.
Perfect, yeah.
I think so.
Protectionist policies.
This is what it looks like. Yes. Processed food, all your cans and whatever. Buy here first.
Can here.
Exactly, and make it possible for your local farmers to produce more.
Yes.
And so that you don't have to actually, and then, do what Kivuda Kibwana wanted to do in Makweni, when you have your mangoes and you can them. So you have pulp, you have juice, you have concentrate, all of these things. You build the industry, and then energy also gets a huge drop from 62.63 billion shillings in the supplementary estimates to 35.77 billion shillings. So, well, it's okay because they're charging fee. They're going to get the money back anyway.
When I read that, I read that together with the promise of manufacturing. So with energy not getting more investments, then our promise to be an industrialized nation and manufacturing be key questions. Because you need enough and sufficient power, even surplus, for you to say that manufacturing can take place.
Indeed. You have to look into those things. Yeah. Of course, we're going into the budget analysis. We'll be doing some of that just at about 7 o'clock. Kenyan sought to lessen burden but offers little hope. He admits this, Mbadi. Yeah. Out of touch hustlers say Mbadi's 4.8 trillion shilling plan will not uplift their lives. And we'll go into some of these issues as we talk with the CAM CEO at 7, because there are quite a number of them, from mobile phones to e-mobility to betting, scrap metals. All of that comes into play. The pump, as well as crypto. For those of you who are getting into the crypto, there's something about that as well. Health spending rises by 37 billion to plug the donor gap. That it can be done is a good realization. Let's look into that a little bit more. There's a bag of goodies for lecturers and teachers that it will translate into the real goodies in the coming year, which starts on the 1st of July. It would be interesting to see. CBAs, they are pending. Mixed reactions greet election year's budget. Pomp and colour as Mbadi delivers his second budget estimates in Parliament. Well, I don't understand what the hullabaloo is all about. Why must you have dinner and all of these things? You can read a piece of paper, read it, tell us how we're going to spend money, then move. But then you have to stay there and have dinner, after party. You have a party after because you read the budget. I don't get it. I've never understood, by the way, and I'm not being facetious.
I am repeating. You see, whatever this man was coming to present, we already had it. There was nothing new. It was just a beautiful paper, which is yellow for that matter, and that briefcase. Other than that, nothing new. If anything, you could even do that thing on Zoom.
Tindo?
Yeah.
I don't know. The celebration around reading of the budget. Why is it a celebration? Look, we could go on this forever. There's a tribute there as an honor of celebrating Dr. Chris Kirubi. It's been 5 years since his passing, and the voices of a legacy to celebrate him. Peter Kimani in the Seriously Speaking says, lest we forget, we keep kids in schools to keep them out of prison. You might want to get into that. Oh, sorry, I forgot to also say that one thing that was important here: vulnerable groups are to get, village elders are to get part of the lion's share of 42 billion shillings in terms of upliftment for life. Events that seem designed to keep us angry and in crisis mode is also in the op-eds this morning with Mosheri Karaja. You want to get yourself a copy of that because that will be very interesting to read. Dong Evans also says that the High Court judges violated the Constitution in Gachagwa's case. He didn't mince his words in this one. That's one of the opinion pages that you want to look into. It's Friday. So the Pulse is in the Standard, and it has Dennis Aseto just a little bit confused for a few minutes there. But what